Hello, everyone. Hello. Hi, this is me, Doris Spencer Shackelford. I am Doris Speaks Life, and I am speaking life into your journey. Everyone, it is a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'm so grateful to be here with you. Uh, I hope you can hear me. I had my earpiece in from my phone. I wanted to talk to you about spiritual teacher. And the last time I was here, I let me reposition myself. The last time I was here, I spoke in reference to my master class that I have coming up September the 23rd. And you can literally go to my link on the about page and definitely get registered for that. The registration link is live, so you can definitely register for that. So, I wanted to talk to you tonight about being a spiritual teacher, a spiritual teacher. What is a spiritual teacher? Uh, I am a motivational speaker, a certified master life coach, and I specialize in spiritual transformation, as well as I am a self taught coach and expert. And I specialize in just that. I teach people how to transform their inner dialogue so that they can become more successful in their lives. Okay? Now, in not so many words, I am a spiritual teacher because I deal with the inner man. I deal with the spiritual aspect of the human being. I also deal with the physical aspect of the human being as well because it's a duality. You have to have both. So, I wanted to share with you that spiritual teachers are people who share their learning, what they've learned from lessons that they've experienced in life with others so that they can elevate and grow and become better human beings, for lack of a better word, for lack of a better terminology, better human beings. And what's so important about that is no matter, oh, excuse me, y'all, no matter how much we think we know, there's always more to learn. And I like to call it there are things you know, there are things you don't know, there are things you know that you don't know, and then there are things you don't know that you don't know, and then there are things that you know you don't know that you don't know that you don't know them, and that you don't know. So, right now, as a spiritual teacher and a transformation and spiritual transformation coach, I literally am, i.e., a spiritual teacher. I teach people on a spiritual level and a physical level on how to transform their lives. Now, how do I know everything? No. How do I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing? Because I experienced so many spiritual things that let me know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I am here to share. And I was raised in church. I was raised Pentecostal, 4 generations Pentecostal Church of God in Christ. And they would always say what it says in the Bible, the Christian Bible, is that you overcome by the words of your testimony, which means that your testimony is what is going to help you to teach other people through your testimony. They're going to see God's glory through your testimony. In other words, that's what a spiritual teacher is. A spiritual teacher and is usually someone who's basically ordained and chosen by God, not by man, but by God. There are multiple spiritual teachers out here. There are some that call themselves gurus. There are some that call themselves masters, senseis. There are some that just call themselves I'm just they have different names. Everybody See, this is the wonderful thing about Earth. You can literally call yourself and change your name to anything. Now, for those who really have done the work, that inner work that I like to talk about, they know that changing your name has nothing to do with whether or not you've changed your life. Let me say that again. Those who are on a spiritual journey really know that changing your name has nothing to do with changing your life. So there may be some who have changed their names and gone through a spiritual awakening, but you have multiple spiritual awakenings. If you are a spiritual teacher, you know that it's not a one and done. It could never be. There is constant spiritual awakenings. There are constant spiritual ascensions. There are constant spiritual transformations that you go through. It's levels to this thing. As I say on my podcast, the Healing Hour podcast with Doris Speaks Life, healing is like soup. It's progressive. You need multiple ingredients in order for it to be a soup that is to taste for you. Okay. And that's the same thing about your spiritual journey. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, no, 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 no. You only have it one time and then you're done. That's a lie. That's not true. And if you only having one spiritual awakening, then that means you're stunted in some way. You're stagnated in your journey. And I don't want you to believe that. Okay. The last time I was here, the energy was really, really, it was really strong. And so I'm so grateful now that I'm here at this time. I want to change my lighting, but I'm not going to do so. I'm probably going to do it on the next video, the next live. But anyway, it's amazing that you can literally call yourself anything these days. You can say, I am a man and be a woman. And I'm not getting into that discussion, but do you see where I'm going? But when it comes down to a spiritual teacher, most spiritual teachers are spiritual guides. They guide you on your spiritual journey. You can find multiple spiritual teachers here on YouTube, or you can find them walking in life. You can find somebody who's a spiritual teacher in a park, on a park bench. What we have to understand is here on earth, we are all teachers. We're all students here. We're all here to learn. We're all here to evolve and elevate and inspire. I don't think a lot of us even understand how important that is, that we're all teachers one to another. We're all here helpers one to another. No matter how much people may say, oh, I don't think that, I don't really like their style of teaching. There are different styles of teaching, different styles of communication, and different styles of obtaining education and obtaining knowledge. That's why you have to be really, really careful that you are guided by the right person and to the right person. And on every level of your life, you're going to attract a different teacher. You don't keep the same teacher all of your life. It's just like elementary school. When you graduate from kindergarten, you go to the first grade. You don't have the same teacher that you had in kindergarten that you're going to have in the first grade or the fifth grade. You leave those teachers on that level as you elevate and you're promoted to the next grade. And I need you to understand that. So not all the time will you get you'll get the same teaching on each level of your journey. And I want you to understand that. It's going to change, it's going to progress, and the teaching strategy is going to elevate just like you do. Now, here's another thing about a spiritual teacher that I really want you to understand. Most of them do not like to be called spiritual teachers. You want to know why? Because it comes with a lot of responsibility, myself included. I was trying to run away from this whole thing. And I recently realized that I'm being called to a different level. You can see from my previous videos until now that the whole, like, there's a total transformation that has happened with me, even in the way I communicate, even with the energy that I exude. Because right now it's a different level. It's more of a flow to it. And you see my hands are constantly flowing, and it's not like this or it's like this and I'm in your face. It's more of a flow to it right now. And that's what's important about your spiritual journey. Each level requires a different you, which in turn requires a different spiritual teacher. Now, I had a life coach, and on my journey of personal development, I needed her on that level. As time went on, I became my own coach. And that's the most important thing about it. I say this all the time. If you are a coach, if you want to be a life coach and you've never had a life coach, how you going to coach? You need an example. You need someone that kind of sets a precedent of, oh, okay, this is how I help other people. You need leadership. That's the word that it's coming to mind right now. You need a standard of leadership to go off of so that you can know, so that you'll be aware and have a little bit of knowledge on how to lead because you've learned how to follow. Okay. That's the same thing with the spiritual coach, a spiritual teacher. A spiritual teacher can only be a teacher if there are pupils. If there are no pupils, there's no teacher. I always say, when the student is ready, the teacher will arrive. And that's the most important thing about this whole spiritual journey, is that when you're at a certain point in your life, you're going to attract and run across, just like you may not even know who I am right now. But across time, you may run across this video and be like, oh my goodness, I've been needing this for the longest. I needed to know, what is a spiritual coach? What is a spiritual teacher? Am I a spiritual teacher? More than likely you are. Are you a spiritual being having a human experience? Then guess what? You're a spiritual teacher as well. And not on the aspect of what I'm speaking of, but you are a teacher just the same. Now, here's the thing, and I keep saying that word. I like that phrase. Here's the thing. Here is the thing now, presently. Presently, we are all here learning, right? Earth is a school. I like to call it Arth. Who said it was Earth? Arth. Arth is a school where we're constantly learning different aspects of ourselves in order for us to evolve, to become better. And you can only do that when you embrace the spiritual journey and allow yourself to go through the transformation stages, the symptoms, the ascensions, the addressing the ego, the ego deaths that you have to go through, the all of the things that are required of you in order for you to become who it is that you were divinely designed to be. Now, some people may say that's a lot of whoopla, but let me tell it to you on a religious standpoint. If you were raised, I was raised Christian, as I said, 4 generations in. And the one thing that I realize is there is every religion has the foundation of the same doctrine. And you may say, no, it doesn't. Yes, it does. It has one person that comes as a salvation, as the Savior that saves all the people and is the sacrifice. And what is required of you as the follower of that belief is that you must sacrifice your old self in order for you to live a new life. That is the same thing with transformation, spiritual transformations. You must have the ego death. You must go through ego deaths in order for you to have the ascensions. You must have these symptoms of, oh, I can't believe that I'm going through this right now. What is going on? Or you become knowledgeable, and then you begin to ask different questions, such as, what am I supposed to learn right now? Where am I supposed to be right now? Why did this take place like this? So, on each level, it's going to require a different you. And that is where a spiritual teacher comes in. They teach you where you are in your life, and they guide you through that particular area in your life. And then you move forward, you move up, you elevate. Okay? That's what a spiritual teacher is. Now, how can you work with a spiritual teacher? I am a spiritual teacher. I am a certified master life coach and in a spiritual transformation coach. And I help people like that. You can always click my link in the about page and definitely schedule your session with me, and we can have a session and we can see if we're suited for each other to work with each other. And you can do that way. Now, I hope I have answered that question. I know a lot of you may be like, I didn't ask that. I didn't do the 1, 2, 3s and the 4, 5, 6, 5 steps to becoming a spiritual teacher. No, I'm just sharing with you what is a spiritual teacher. A spiritual teacher. That is the title, a spiritual teacher. Now, I wasn't going to be on here long, so I wanted to come and say that. And I love you all so very much. And I thank you for your time. And don't forget to click my link as well in the about page, and definitely purchase your book, The Re-Up. You can definitely purchase your book via my link, and also schedule a consultation with me, a free consultation with me to see if we're suited to work with each other, if you're looking for a spiritual coach and a spiritual guide. I love you all so very much. Smooches, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.